Alright, we back on gaming. Let me tell y'all now, I'm really not in the mood to do this. I'm really not. Alright? I'll tell y'all now that my mind is not on this. I got some things I need to deal with in real life. I may have to fight tonight. That's why you see I'm kind of calm about this right now, because I'm trying to conserve my energy for the night. I may have to fight. Not boxing. Not boxing. A fight. There's a difference. You know what I mean? There's a difference. And I'm going to have to go there today. I'm going to have to be an asshole. Y'all think I'm an asshole on here. Y'all ain't never seen me be an asshole. I'm talking about spit in your face, punch you right afterwards, asshole. That's the type of asshole I'm going to have to be. So, we'll see what happens later today. I keep telling people, y'all think that this shit is all drama. You know, you cause drama on here because, you know, people don't agree with you when it comes to what game you like or what company you like or whatever. And it's like, nah, what I keep telling y'all, you want drama, take your ass outside, there's enough drama. And the thing is, when drama's outside, you settle that shit as fast as possible, because nobody likes drama. Unless you're the type that doesn't have a life, and it's all you feed off of. And it seems like a lot of people online like to feed off that shit. Especially when you want to scream sexism over some character designs. For Xenoblade, I ain't trying to hear that shit. So, let's get started today with EA and their bullshit, shall we? Because that's exactly what's going on. So let's talk about this. Alright, now we talked about last time with this whole Star Wars thing, right, with EA. And we already know it's caught. And this time, for those who don't know, EA is under fire for UFC Microtransactions and loot boxes. Alright? That's the news now. So, I'm thinking to myself, EA has not learned from their situation. LucasArts and Disney came out not too long ago over the Star Wars Battlefront issue and said, we support EA for, you know, taking out, you know, loot boxes. For changing everything. I told y'all before, EA, they pulled the microtransaction loot boxes, but they said they're going to come back. So for anyone who's running out now to go get Star Wars, which I did not see on Black Friday, no one was buying Star Wars. But then again, it wasn't on sale. It seems like EA is not learning from their situation at all. They're going to bring it back. I just hope that gamers aren't fooled by this. And of course, this is what I want. You know what? I'll save it for a bit later. All right, for exactly what I want to say on this entire issue with the industry. Okay. But yeah, they got caught with loot boxes, and people are very upset. There's more news. As you know, Belgium says that loot boxes are gambling, which is an addiction. We will talk about that. And you know what? No. Let's talk about that now, actually, shall we? Let's talk about the fact that it is addiction. All right, loot boxes are gambling. Of course, over in, Hawaii, the legislator said they're predatory. It's both. It is. All right? The way EA is going about this, it is gambling. I know a lot of people saying, if you think it's gambling, you're stupid. No, it's the mentality they're trying to get kids with. All right? We've talked about this before. So let's talk about this again, shall we? Now, what you're failing to realize is that with these loot boxes and gambling, they're trying to get you into an addictive behavior. As we already know, gaming, the way they have promoted it, is somewhat addictive behavior already. We've talked about this for years, and yet it's gone ignored. Now, this time, it's actually has some legs. You know, for those who felt as though it was just a conspiracy theory, it has legs now, because now you have the government stepping in and saying these things. And I know that a lot of people don't like the government stepping in and regulating these issues, but it has to be regulated. It has to. So, for those, again, who didn't hear me last time about this issue, all right? When it comes to gambling, things of this nature, when it comes to addiction, they're treating gamers the same way as they do, as drug dealers do. If you think about it, okay, and I want you to think about it, the industry spends a lot of money on, on advertising. That advertising, as we see all the time, is to lower your self-esteem, all right? If you don't buy the latest game, blah, 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 you're out of loop. You won't be cool. And you have people saying, well, I don't want to be that person and not be cool. I'm going to buy this game. Right? When you decide to speak out against said, you know, practices of the industry, what do? The industry, the media, they call you every name in the book. They try to degrade you every time. It is a tactic that gets you to buy these products. That's what it is. It's the same way drug dealers do you. All right? Oh, what you going to do? You want to get off the stuff? What are you going to do? You ain't nothing. You ain't shit. Look at you. Look, you're not going to do anything with your life. I mean, if you don't buy this stuff, that's what's going to happen. Okay? The industry spends a lot of money trying to brainwash you. they spend a lot of money trying to break down your self-esteem to buy their products. I mean, look what happened with Mighty Number 9. I mean, you don't want to be an anime fan crying at prom night, do you? Exactly. This is one of those things where they spend a lot of time insulting you as a consumer, insulting your intelligence. As soon as you decide to speak up, that's what they want. They want to break you, okay, and control you. And when you're doing this, you have to understand, when their focus audience is kids. It's not us adults anymore. We've gone past that point now. If you think about it, it's almost like the music industry. Think about it, especially with rap. You have a specific age group that they target, a demographic they target. After you hit that plateau of, you break that mold of that age factor, they say you're not worth anything anymore because they got everything they want out of you. So you're old, and and they call you every name in the book to degrade you, to say we're just going to cast you away. So when they make a lot of songs about spending all this money, frivolous cash, especially people in bad areas who don't have anything, oh, you should buy the latest, this alcohol, or you should buy these clothes, or you should we see it all the time. It's the same thing with the game industry. You should buy this, you should buy that. And they try to get you to consume as much as possible as kids because, of course, your brains aren't developed fully yet that you can get hooked on that. It's not like it was back in the day where games were like, hey, this is our game, this is where we're advertising it, and if you like it, cool. Hopefully you support us and we can become a community. These days, they spend way too much money trying to knock you down and trying to control you in order for you to buy things. It is the most malicious, abusive thing I have seen in a long time, especially the way it affects our community. So as far as I'm concerned, there are a lot of addicts out there that love to defend EA. They love to defend Capcom. They love to defend, it doesn't even matter who. And we're going to talk about Capcom later, okay? But you have to understand that these tactics that are involved, and for you to buy a game, it's horrible. It's deceitful. And like I said, I don't understand how people can defend such dishonesty. I don't understand that. Who wants to defend a company who doesn't know your name that has a tendency to tell you that you aren't shit? Oh, you're just nothing but a bunch of, what do you call you? A bunch of backseat developers not too long ago, couch developers or something like that. Didn't they say that when you said something about Battlefront? When people started raising their voices? There's more. A lot more. Right? So, as we know about the loot boxes with Belgium and Hawaii, EA decides to buy Respawn for $455 million. So you close down one company and say, well, it's economical. It's a reason why we're doing this. And then you buy Respawn for $455 million. First off, rip to Respawn because you're done. All right? EA has consumed so many companies and buried them. It's over. Okay? However, $455 million, that is a hefty price to pay for a company. All right? And I put it like this. If you have the money to spend that much on that company, not to mention the millions that you spend in advertising for each game that you feel is big. I mean, we saw how much you spent on Medal of Honor. For those who don't remember, all right, they spent more money in advertising for Medal of Honor than actually the game to make. So you have to understand, when it comes to this type of stuff, EA is very guilty of these things. And like I said, if you have so much money, and remember, an embarrassment of riches that they thought they were going to get this year, why are you still putting out these loot boxes? Why are you doing these microtransactions? You know what I mean? I'm just trying to figure this out. So when people came to me and said, like I said, it's popular to be mad at EA right now. And I felt it's very disrespectful because I've been doing it for years and years and telling you what's going on. And it seems like the community did not listen. I just fell on deaf ears as opposed to, maybe I'm just not big enough to say it. Maybe that's what it is. I'm just not popular enough to say it. Regardless if it's the truth or not, I keep telling you, it doesn't matter who says it. It's the truth. But y'all would rather listen to people who actually put on an act, who are phony, who actually dress up in order to get your attention. Instead of someone sitting here and telling you, look, this is the deal, this is the truth. This is honesty. Y'all would rather have that, huh? Yeah. Like I said, today I'm just really not in the mood. I'm really not. But this is who y'all champion, though. This is who y'all hold up higher. This is who you will defend to the end. This is who, if someone says something about said person, that fan base will attack you and send a bunch of death threats and everything else. while that person, a grown-ass man who can handle his own business, lets kids do the business for him. That's how we do things now. Our community was never like this. And it goes to show you this is also a direct result of what we see in the industry. The way they act, the way they promote things. And then you have these degenerates that come on here. Like I said, I think YouTube, it's a gift and a curse. It is. Because you can really get the truth out there and really dismantle things. And the media really doesn't like that at all. Especially when they try to, paint their own narrative. But then you have these people who will take advantage of you on here. They will. They are nothing but a bunch of snakes. And if you can't identify that they're a bunch of snakes, man, I feel bad for you. You have to stop being naive. Not everyone deserves your time. Not everyone deserves your support. But let's keep it going, right? EA and their bullshit. $455 million. You had that price tag. Clearly, you have more money than even that. Like I said, I don't understand why you would need to keep nickel and diamond gamers. Or is this the way you get your money? Buy nickel and diamond gamers. But there's more. We have bigger fish to fry today. That's right. For those who don't know, Destiny 2. For you Destiny 2 fans. Alright? Destiny 2 has been secretly reducing XP games and is stopping after the fans caught on to it. So if the fans did not catch on to this, they would keep reducing your XP gains. But now that the fans caught on to it and said, what are you doing? Now it's, okay, we'll stop, we're sorry. You're only sorry because you got caught. Because the community said, wait a minute, there's something wrong here. Why are they doing this to us? You can't keep supporting companies who don't give a damn about you. Okay? That's what it comes down to. It's like, for example, you know what? I'll save that example for the next bit of news I'm going to give you, okay? Just remember that you can't trust these companies. They don't give a damn about you. I don't care how much of the game, of the product that you like, and I've seen it, especially on Twitter. Yeah, they said this about us, but I'm still going to buy their product. Yeah, they said this about me, and the community manager cursed me out, but I'm still going to buy their product. They are responsible for these things. They hired that community manager. You have to understand that there's a responsibility and there is a ladder. So if somebody says something to you really, reckless, then guess what? Then you need to go over their head and say something because they have a manager as well. They cannot act this way. This is unprofessional. But there's more. So let's get into it, shall we? Star Citizen is now selling $50 to $100 land grants. Are you serious? Now look, we know that Star Citizen throughout all this time, a lot of people call it a scam, a lot of people say there's a cult. You should know by now that this endless belief in Star Citizen, after how much they made in the Kickstarter, are you going to sit here and tell me that now they're going to charge $50 to $100 on this? Now of course they're saying that, you can do these things, in-game. You can. But here's the thing. People are going to take the shortcut. You know how long it's going to take you to get this stuff in-game? And the thing is, you're just planting down sort of like it's a beacon, so like a flag. That's what you're doing right now. It is the weirdest thing. If you read the article, even the author is like, no, this is uncool. This is not, this is not cool at all. This shouldn't be happening. These companies are taking advantage of either your goodwill or the fact that you're naive. And like I said, when people are starting to compare our community to cults, there's a problem. Not just an addiction, but it's a belief. Regardless if you know it's a lie, you're still believing in it. There's a problem. This is what our community is dealing with right now. But there's more. Epic Games sues cheaters over Fortnite. One being a 14-year-old boy. And you know what? This is a company, Epic Games. Instead of just banning the cheaters and just saying, okay, fine, because it's a mod or whatever, you're now suing them. You're suing the gamers who bought your game, all right? Because people do buy the game. I mean, seriously, at Black Friday, I saw people, like kids, not adults, kids, were in the Target aisle buying Fortnite, all right? And the kid actually tried to buy the game, and one kid was like, why don't you just buy it digital? If you buy the disc and you lose it, then you're screwed. And I turned to that kid and was like, seriously? Is this mindset? that if we just buy digital, everything will be okay. Not to mention the regulations. Not to mention they have control of your stuff. They shut you down. We've seen this with EA, did we not? You buy digital. When that guy made that complaint about Dragon Age, they shut his ass down. He couldn't even play his game anymore. It was digital. Couldn't play his game anymore. We saw that a lot with the Medal of Honor crowd. When they made all those complaints, EA banned them. These companies, you don't want to give them but so much control. Now, especially if you start looking at the fine print, you don't own the actual game. You're just renting it. And these are kids saying this. So obviously, the shtick of you should buy digital, whether it's from the company, whether it's from the media, or whether it's from your favorite YouTuber saying this. They believe in it now, instead of buying digital. Even though all the stats say that gamers still prefer digital. Because remember, if you buy digital, their excuse was, well, you don't have to worry too much about the cost of it. It should be a lower price because of manufacturing problems. Remember that? We have to, make up for the manufacturing prices. That's why this game is so high. But if you buy digital, it'll be cheaper. Now when you look at digital games, now what they say, well, it has the reason why we keep it the same price is because it's about quality assurance. They've got every excuse in the book on why to fuck you. If you have not realized. They lied to your face, and then when you come back to them, well, we have this excuse, and this excuse to get away with it. No, you're not getting away with it. You notice when I get digital games, they're either dirt cheap because they're on sale from a flash sale, or they're free. That's it. Only reason. But some of these digital games take up so much memory, it's not even fucking worth it. It's not. I'd rather buy physical. It's ridiculous. And now you're giving digital perks, as we see now with Monster Hunter. Well, if you buy the digital version, you'll get this, this, and this, and this. And that's absolutely ridiculous. And then later you'll see stats, well, they're making up more sales in digital than they are physical. There's always some type of gimmick. It's a hook. And we're going to talk about gimmicks later. But the fact that they sit here and they're trying to sue a 14-year-old, and you know what I love about this? The mother came out and said, oh no, we're not going to have this. You have to prove that this child did this mod on its own. Because there's a difference between downloading the mod at a torrent and actually creating the mod, because they're trying to cite that they're losing money and all this type of stuff because of the mod. And the mother wants them to prove it. But here's the biggest part of it all. And I'm going to put this right in a screenshot so you can see it, where the mother argues about the fact that they released the minor's name and his face online. And we've talked about this before, have we not? About, companies and media releasing minors' names and faces online. It's illegal. You can't do that. But for some reason, Epic Games thought that they were above the law. We've talked about this before, about the gaming industry, and compared to any other customer service or any type of consumer-based company, okay, when it comes to outside video games. They don't follow the rules. And it's weird, because they feel as though they're above it. They can break every rule that has been regulated with every other company outside of video games, the way they take care of their customers, and think it's okay, and think they can just get away with it. No, you are running into the law. It's a big deal. And for some reason, we have a lot of people in this community who are okay with it. No, they're not above anything, okay? They're not. So they have to abide by the same rules that any other company does when it comes to consumers. Now, here's the thing also I want to talk about, okay? Because, like I said, it's already illegal to release a minor's name and stuff like that. So they should definitely get in trouble for that. Personally, I think they should countersue. You should. But there's more. When it comes to the attitude, these companies, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I will break this down to as simple as possible for people. Said person tells you that you aren't shit and says that you'll never be anything and calls you every name in the book. Then turns around and says, hey man, can I borrow some money from you? Can I have some money? Are you going to give them the money? No. They've insulted you. They've called you everything else. They don't give a shit about you. No. You don't. You, that's what you think of me. Why would I give you money? Go find it somewhere else. That's an everyday situation that you would do, right? It shouldn't be any different if it's an individual doing this or if it's a company doing this. If a company acts this way and says, fuck you, we don't need you, you can suck my dick, and we've seen that. Developers have said these things, alright? And if you don't like it, you're uncool, and I know it's cool, and you suck, and you're just mad because of this, and you're a whiny bitch, and blah, 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 and every excuse in the book to degrade you, then turn around and say, buy our product. Nah. It's a wrap. Nah. That's what you had to do. You thought that was the coolest way to go about things, to communicate with consumers. That's what now you got to fall on your sword. That's what it is. That's what you get. So as far as I'm concerned, no, I'm not going to support you. And then people still, for some reason, they know these things are happening and still go out and buy Madden, or go out and buy, UFC, or go out and buy FIFA, or whatever, annually. It makes no sense to me. Do you like are you a masochist? Do you like being degraded? Are you in this relationship with these companies that they can just keep abusing you and you just keep coming back for more because, ooh, shiny trailer? Is that it? I mean, is that the mentality that we have now? Like, come on, man. Speaking of bad mentalities, we will move on into the FGC. So let's start out with somewhat good news. Okay, Taito announces a new King of Fighters 14 and Blazblue Central Fiction arcade cabinets. That's the great news. Of course, the bad news is it's only in Japan. Yeah, you gotta love that, right? Yeah. A lot of people want me to talk about Arcana Heart Love Max. Not going to do it. Because for those who have not been following me on my Twitter, you know how I feel about the way they've gone with this Kickstarter. Alright, and how much they've wanted. Do you see how much money they wanted just to change the name to the game? No, I can't support that. It's greed. It is. It's pure greed. And then on top of it, they're still trying to hit you with more money. Even if you've paid for the Kickstarter and everything, they try to get you with more money now. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's just not worth it for me, man. It's not worth talking about when it comes to being positive. And hey, it's a game that's coming out. You should support it. I can't support that. I can't. It's sleazy. It is. And anyone knows the cost of animation, for like I said, animation major. Anyone who has ever known the cost of animation, all right, no way. That's crazy. You can get more for your money doing an actual feature film than the actual video. No way. It's absolutely ridiculous. The cost that they were asking for just to animate one character. No. I'm not having that talk with y'all. Nope. Let's move on. Speaking of games that are getting ready to come out, and games that have also kind of screwed consumers already, Dragonball Fighter Z adult Gohan trailer is out. I will put it in the description field. And Dragon Ball, it looks great. I've seen people say, yeah, what they're trying to do is wrong, they're trying to screw us, but I'm still going to buy it. When you announce a season pass before the damn thing's even out, there's problems, man. There's problems. Think about it. We've never had it. No. They had one job. To actually go the opposite direction that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite did. And now Dragon Ball just joins the group. It joins the group. And people say, but the quality of the game, yeah, the game of it, the actual game looks like quality. It does. Now, I know that quality can be an opinion-based thing, too. Because if you talk to people who play Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, they'll tell you that their game is quality. You know what I mean? So, and of course, that's an argument that can keep going back and forth. So, I personally think that Dragon Ball has more quality, but that's not enough to turn around and try and get consumers the way they're trying to get them. Like, no, it's not. Why can't companies just stop the bullshit? Why can't they? Why does it always have to be some type of catch, some type of hook, some type of way to keep you buying more and more and more? The days of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, it seems, are over. Where you just had this huge roster, or even Mortal Kombat Ultimate. You know what I mean? X amount of versions later. Ultimate gave you a ton of cast of characters. There was no, we have this character and it's already made, but we're going to sit here and we're going to lock it behind a paywall. Hi Goro, hi Black Panther. You know what I mean? Like, come on. It's always something. Always. They try and get you. I don't know how people support that, man. I can't support it, man. I can't. And then people will say, well, you just think about the past. You old. You left out of the fray. That's what they want you to say. Again, degrading an individual for speaking out. Let's move on. let's talk about the Smash community for a bit. Yeah. Okay. Tournament organizer apologizes after almost running the players over in his car. Admits he did it. Apologizes, which was a half-assed apology if you saw it. Half-assed apology. And people at one point were arguing, why is he still left, is let open to be in tournaments. He's allowed to be in tournaments. And people were very upset about this. And people were like, well, if you look at the track record, you have smashers who have sexually assaulted people who are still in tournaments. You have this person who's doing this, they're still left in tournaments. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. This person almost committed, it's attempted murder. Do you understand that? So, priority-wise here, the argument shouldn't be whether this person's allowed back in tournaments or not, because the person removed themselves from the Smash community now. Okay? They removed themselves. So people are like, okay, we're cool now. No, it's not fucking cool. This person should be going to jail. Do you understand it? It's attempted murder. There's a difference. Okay? Sexual assault. They should be going to jail. There's a difference. It's not about whether they're let back in the community or not. Yeah, they shouldn't be let back in the community, but that's just a small thing compared to the larger scale of things. And yet, everyone is arguing just on this level because it affects their community, because it affects them. Stop being selfish. Stop it. Now, of course, in this entire investigation, people are saying, well, the people who almost got run over, they're exaggerating it. And the person who tried to run them over has admitted it, so it's like, no, it's attempted murder regardless. Regardless. What, you want to plea and get a lesser deal for manslaughter? If you did attempted manslaughter? Premeditated? Because you got in your car, you thought about doing it first, you visualized the shit doing it first, you thought about it, and that's how I see premeditated. I'm not trying to hear, oh, well, you planned this out for days. Apparently the person had a grudge with these people, was upset, and decided, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. But there's more. Okay? Let's talk about, again, the mentality of the FGC of not knowing what they want. Because for those who know, Smash not too long ago, as you know, some of these players have their own type of tournaments named after them. And of course, the rest of the FGC gets a bit jealous about that and wants it for themselves. Nah, fam, we're going to stop that right at the door. Remember, the FGC says Smash isn't part of the FGC. They're not worthy of what they call you. A bunch of smash tards and everything else, and autism and everything. That's what they call y'all, right? That's exactly what they call the Smash community. And look, I'm going to be honest here. When I see on Twitter, because some of you love to retweet the same people in Smash, the same top 8 players in Smash, guess what? I get to a point where I got to mute that shit. Because what they're saying is absolutely stupid. It is ridiculous. I come on my timeline, I see what they're saying, I'm like, bruh, just go away. It's the epitome of immaturity. It is. It really is. Every once in a while, you get a small little nugget. You get a good gem. You know what I mean? But that's it. I can tell you, for every maybe 3 weeks, I see someone retweet or like something from a smasher, a top 8 smasher. Once out of those 3 weeks, you'll get something that's a quality tweet. And then you'll see all these likes, 1,000 likes or whatever. Like, are you serious? So let me get this straight, all right? The rest of the FGC remember, we've seen the fights for years about Smash not being part of it because they want to be their own entity, all right? And how they do things and how arrogant they are and stuff like that. Now you're telling me that you want exactly what Smash has. So it's okay to bag on Smash, the community, when it comes to doing all these other things, but as soon as it's something that you feel that you can use, now you want it. Absolutely ridiculous. Nah, it don't work. And these are the people that are praised in the FGC. The stupidity, the lack of thought in the FGC, and these are the people who are supported. These are the people who, mind you, same people who want to be villains, the same people who want to put on an act because they've told you they don't like your personality. You got to be someone else in order to be part of this community, in order to be liked. Again, low self-esteem. These are the people you praise. It's absolutely ridiculous. And for some reason, everyone's just like, this is fine. Everything's fine. This is great. Absolutely. Like, it's time, dare I say, it's time to stop. Dare I say that. Oh, my God. I don't get it anymore, man. I don't. And they say, well, maybe you're too old. Again, finding reasons to knock down the truth. To knock down honesty. Like I said, we were never about being characters. Characters playing as characters now. We were about being ourselves because the community, as we grew, they told us, the society outside of our community told us we ain't worth shit. Okay, fine. And if we're all not worth shit, then we'll come together and we'll be not worth shit with each other. Now it's, nope, you're not worth shit. You gotta be someone else now. It's infected our community. But my entertainments. Seriously. Alright. Let's keep the ball rolling. It's disappointing to see. It really is. It's one of those things where you need to sit some of these people down and be like, look, the fuck is wrong with you? The fuck were you thinking? I don't know. I really don't. It's different when, I guess when people say things, it's different on camera as opposed to tweeting because you know you're thinking ahead of time before you tweet that shit, before you draft that shit out. You know what I mean? You're thinking and you thought that shit was hot when you sent it the fuck out. Alright, let's just keep going. My Hero Academia 1 Justice is coming out soon. Or should I say has been, they're showing us some screenshots, so it's not coming out soon. They show some screenshots of it. Actually, it doesn't look that bad, but I'm sure that people are going to be very upset at the end process. We don't have that much information on the game yet, but I will put what I have in the description field for My Hero Academia, and I'm just waiting for the next season to come out, to be honest. Alright, so I can watch it. It's a great show. And I'm still upset the fact that Yuri on Ice beat it for best anime. What the hell was Crunchyroll thinking? Alright, let's move on. Let's move on. Alright. Reigning Capcom Cup Champion will not be attending this year. And here's the thing, alright? Which is all fine for that person. If they have some personal issues or they don't feel like doing it, that is their decision. I fully support that decision if they don't want to do it. Because, like I said, that's what they chose to do. Okay? They withdraw. Okay. And you're talking about how it's a major hit for the tournament. Now it's pretty much up for grabs. Anyone can run. Now, of course, this is Event Scrub, so you should know that the comment section is going to be absolutely horrible. However, let me tell you, majority of the community did come together, and I'll put the link in the description field, did come together and use some logic. Because there are people saying there's no reason why this person should withdraw from the event. He should be playing, and that's it. No excuses. You are a competitor, blah, 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 blah. And then the person tries to go on and compare them to athletes. I told you before, gamers are not athletes. Told you before. Athletes play through all these pressures. Athletes play when families are dying or they play injured or whatever. And fighting game players should do the same. No, they shouldn't, because they're not athletes. If there are some personal problems that you need to take time out, and I know a lot of us, even myself, is guilty of this. You get personal problems, you're like, it doesn't matter, you just keep it going. You know what I mean? There's a difference. If he needs to take a break, let him take a break. I fully support that. It's for his mental health, or whatever he's going through. Even if he decided, hey, look, I just don't want to do it. That's for his mental health. That's fine. But for some Yahoo to come out, some random to come out of nowhere and start telling people how they should live their lives when it comes to, entering tournaments or whatever. Are you putting out the money to go to certain places? Are you fully sponsored so that you can go and compete? Are you doing all these things that it takes? Are you putting in the hours and hours of practice in order to play at a high level? Are you doing that? Because if you're not doing all those things, shut the fuck up. It's that simple. You can't tell these people when they should compete. You can't. Mind you, it's a video game. Again, a video game. I don't care what advertising, again, on what Capcom or any other company is doing to put on a tournament. I don't care. Because that's what it is. It's mass advertising. Putting on a tournament, when it comes to something like this, like I said, it's not like the UFC. It's not like boxing, where they have their own franchise. And esports is trying to get to that. They are. But let's get something straight. When Capcom puts on the Capcom Cup, alright, pure advertisement for their games. That's all it is. Okay? That's the reason why, we talked about this before, when they made that deal with ESPN, and the hip-hop gamer was like, look, Street Fighter V is great because it's on ESPN. No, idiot. They spent the money so that the game can be advertised so that, people in the real world who haven't been, how can I put this, exposed to the game may think, hey, this is a cool game. Let me play it so they can get more money. That's how it works. Shills, clowns, snakes, everywhere you turn, under the label of gamer. Let's not forget yes men and addicts as well. Let's not forget that. A new one that we haven't talked about yet. We'll talk about in the future. Industry plants. We'll talk about that. But yeah, so Capcom Cup Champion will not compete this time. Like I said, for his mental health, I fully support it. I hope he gets better or whatever he's going through, or if he decides to just take a break, I fully support this. Alright? Because everyone needs a break. Now, let's move on. Premium costumes coming to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? So you're going to hit us with the premium costumes knowing that the game needs to be fixed. Okay. Knowing that this game right now is, again, you're having problems with your base game. Okay? People, like I said, the last time you had your Infinity Gems tournament or whatever, no one showed. Alright? This time, maybe you will have some people showing. But no one showed it last time, alright? It was absolutely horrible. Now you're going to sit here and tell me, again, because remember, favor for a favor, when you look at those names on those tournament brackets, all those people who sat there and tried to promote it, advertise it because they knew they were getting something out of it beforehand. They knew it. And don't tell me they didn't know, because deals, backdoor deals, things that they know that have not been disclosed before. Now you're going to try and hit us with premium costumes. I shouldn't say us because I didn't, buy the game. I should say those consumers who did. Instead of fixing the game. That's all it's about, right? Money, 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 money. That's what it's about. When companies are doing this to you, it's not worth it, man. It's not, if you haven't realized it. But let's keep it going, shall we? Speaking of advertising, I should say, or even just trying to products in general, Eternal Rival Clothing. For those who don't know, these are the people who make a lot of video game shirts. So, like, Are You Okay, Buster Wolf, and Geese is Predictable, stuff like that. They make these things. What I'll do is, you should see just the designs. I'm not saying you gotta buy anything, but look at the designs of it. I'll put it in the description field of the different shirts that they make. They're actually pretty cool. So, the designs are nice. So, let's move on, shall we? Let's talk about, which a lot of people have been talking about, Devil May Cry 5 rumors. That's right. Let's get into it, shall we? Now, as we know, for years and years and years, Capcom has tried to, how can I put this, try to tell us that the next Devil May Cry is coming. They've always tried to keep us on the edge of hype. They've always tried to. So, when we heard about these leaks that are coming out for Devil May Cry 5, and people are asking me, hey, are you hype about this? I'm like, nah, I'm not hype about this. I'll believe it when I see it. It's that simple, because we've gone through this for years with Capcom. So just talking about the leaks is nothing. Then of course we also saw we saw the mocap not too long ago that was posted online. Still not sold on it. So as far as I'm concerned, like I said, I'll believe it when I see it. But we have more news. That's right. Megaman 11 is coming to the PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch. Now, again, when we saw this come out, this announcement happen, people asked me, are you excited for Mega Man 11? No. Why? Because I'm not going to forget the track record that Capcom has with the Mega Man community. Alright? It took us forever to get a new Mega Man. Alright? All you've been doing is trying to get us with collections and bundles of old Mega Man. You know what I mean? You screwed us with Street Fighter versus Tekken with that Mega Man. You didn't put Mega Man in Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You canceled Legends 3. Every time that something happens, actually, the only legit Mega Man we've had so far is in Smash. So, you have to understand that, as far as I'm concerned, when you look at the history of what Capcom has done with Mega Man as of late, I'm very on the fence with it. So, I'm not going to just have hype. What I saw with Mega Man 11, I said, hey, it does look good. It does. I'm not going to sit here and lie. It looks good. If they can bring this game out. Because as far as I'm concerned, you never know. They may cancel it. Like they did Legends 3. Even though you had all the fan base in the world who was ready for Legends 3. And remember, they had the fan base help with the development staff with Legends 3 on what they wanted, and still cited that there's not enough fan demand. Let's cancel it. And then Morgan Webb and Adam Sessler came out and then started insulting the fan base. Remember that? Yeah, because, again, low self-esteem. So it goes to show you, all right, that this is something that's just happened consistently over and over. Speak out, we'll trash you. That's all we're going to do. So as far as I'm concerned, Mega Man 11 does look good, but I'm not going to hold my breath over it. I'm not just yet. They said the game comes out, it looks like quality, yeah, I'll support it because I'm a Mega Man fan. But I'm not going to forget what Capcom did. And as far as I'm concerned, if Capcom decides the same thing with Devil May Cry, if they go this route with Devil May Cry and decide, hey, we're going to start insulting people again, or if they go this route with Mega Man and start insulting people again, I'm not going to support it. I'm not. Same thing again. Monster Hunter. Here's something. Monster Hunter World, for those who don't know, the beta comes out on December 9th, but you can pre-download it, preload it or whatever, on December 8th. Has anyone, and I say this, does anyone notice the pattern here with Capcom? For years, fans have said one thing. What have they said? We want you to step outside of the big games that you're used to making, which is Mega Man, because all Capcom gives you is Mega Man, Resident Evil, Street Fighter, Monster Hunter, Devil May Cry. What are you getting as a late? Mega Man, Monster Hunter, possibly Devil May Cry, right? Resident Evil, right? Like, think about it. Think about it. I just want you to think about it. It's the same games. That's all they're targeting. But if they keep giving you these trailers, then you get hyped. Even though you want more, because if you haven't looked at Capcom's catalog on everything that they have, that's to tell you something. I guess I should add Marvel in there too somewhere. I guess I should, huh? But that's what they've given you in the previous, 8 years? 9 years? It's ridiculous. I mean, if you really thought that Bionic Commando was going to do something, like, come on. Stop that, all right? But that's all you've given us out of these franchises. You have not stepped out of these franchises and given us something great. And I mean AAA great. Not to mention, your Puzzle Fighter for the mobile is a pay-to-win game. What were you thinking? Look, if you're going to... There's no reason for this. Nickel and diming, again, trying to get consumers. But I guess we should move on to more positive news, alright? Shin Megami Tensei 5 is coming to the Switch. That's right. So for those who are looking forward to that, yep, there it is. I will put the link, of course, in the description field. Secret of Mana Remake gets a physical limited edition. Let's have this talk. Okay? Square? I don't know what the fuck you were thinking. I don't. For anyone who has saw the first 11 minutes of this gameplay, it is beyond cringeworthy. Alright? First off, I told you before in video, you didn't need you didn't need to 3D it up. You could have HD'd the original version, and you could have been good. You could have been solid. Could have been sold. Alright? Instead, you 3D'd this game, which looks bad, okay? The voice acting is atrocious. Horrible. Okay? And you want me to pay what? $40 for this game. The physical version of this game. I'm not paying shit for this game. And I'm a huge Secret of Mana fan. I can't tell you how many times I've played with friends on the Super Nintendo version with the multi-tap. You know, like I said, because we didn't have online back then, with the multi-tap, and you went through the game 3-player co-op. Okay? But this game, apparently, is going to have online. So you can play online. Here's the problem. The game is atrocious. It looks horrible. It does. And for those who want to play the original version, you can either find a ROM for it, or the new Super Nintendo system that came out not too long ago, Secret of Mana is on there. I don't know if it has online, because I don't have the new Super Nintendo system, but it goes to show you that they put the original Secret of Mana on there. Mind you, the original Secret of Mana is not on the disc with the new remake, which, if you ask me, you should have included it. And here's the thing I have with it, because when I looked online to see if any media outlets had asked these type of questions, none of them have. None of them. No. Is there, they said it's rumored to be online. I'm going to say that it's online. It's rumored to be online. Well, did you ask? No. Did you ask if the original version was on there? No. You're just going to show us the 3D version and say, hey, here's 11 minutes of video. Instead of actually asking questions like a journalist. Okay. Whatever. It's one thing if you ask the question, they say, we cannot comment any further at this time. That I can understand, but at least you attempted to ask the question. None of them did. Let's move on. Batman. That's right. This is going to really upset a lot of people. Batman Arkham Origins developer is aiming to expand the DC universe. Now, we know about this before, okay? But they're going to do different characters. Batman Arkham Origins, the same developer that didn't fix Origins, that was broken, is now in charge of the rest of the DC universe. Now, when this news came out, there were people on Twitter saying, I really felt that Arkham Origins was the best of all the Arkhams. But how can you say that when the game literally had a game-breaking bug? There's a glitch, and you couldn't do anything about it. You couldn't finish the game. So even if you restart it and you came across a glitch again, you're screwed. You can't say it's the greatest game if you can't finish it. And granted, I understand that some people have finished it, depending on the platform that you're on. I get that. But when it comes to your fellow gamers who can't finish it on said platform, because regardless of what you believe in, consoles are better than PC, the PC Master Race, or Xbox is better than Sony, whatever the case may fucking be, when it comes to our community, alright, and people not being able to finish something, or they're getting screwed on one end, it's not, well, you should have invested in this, or you should have invested in this platform. No, it's, that's fucked up, and they need help, and we need to support them. That's what it should be. But again, only thinking about yourselves, only thinking about what's good for you. Selfishness. Trying to justify your purchase. Fuck out of here. You shouldn't have to justify a purchase when it comes to your console or whatever. You don't need to throw it out there in front of people's faces. Alright? Like I said, gamers will play games no matter what platform they're on. Leave it to the idiots, man. Leave it to the idiots. In more news, Gazillion is dead, since we're on the superhero thing. Gazillion is dead, and so is Marvel Heroes. That's right. It's been discontinued. It's done. They actually shut it down, Marvel Heroes. You would have thought that they would have passed that over to someone else. You know what I mean? And let it keep going so that gamers could play it. Nope. Shut it down completely. Done. Kaput. Rip. Done. See you, Marvel. I don't understand how that works. You have these developers who do work a long time on these games. And then when they come out, and then something happens, and the company goes out of business, you would think the publisher would just be like, you know what? Let's take that on. Give us it. Let's take this on, and we'll put it in someone else's hands. Because if you see that there's a base for it, and it's a huge base for it, you just don't just say, oh well, we're going to cut it off. Fuck you. No. You keep it going. All right. Now for my final thoughts. What I've seen this week has been very disheartening. What I've seen this week has been very frustrating. What I've seen this week has been a lot of ass-kissing, too. I don't understand why our community feels that any of these things are necessary. Like I said, I don't understand where gamers don't have any integrity, any spine, compared to before. And it almost makes you feel as though everyone's just falling in line, and they're just going to just go with the flow of things and think everything will get better if we just ride it out. That's not how it works. In order for something to get better, you have to point out the problems in said product or anything. If you think, like, do you think a team that wins the Super Bowl, all right, they won the Super Bowl, you don't think that the next season they're saying, okay, we need to rebuild, we need to reload to get even better, to go back to the Super Bowl. They don't say, we won the Super Bowl, everything's fine, we don't have to do anything else. We don't have to change any plays, we don't have to change any personnel. No, there's constant changes. They point out a problem and they see what's going on. It's the same thing with games. You point out a problem and you see what's going on and how it can be fixed. And every time you point out a problem, what do they say? You're just whining. That's not the answer to any of this. It's not. So as far as I'm concerned, it's absolutely ridiculous. And I understand, FGC, that you're very upset, that I'm sure you will be after I do this video, that, hey, when it comes, you're calling us on our hypocrisy. Yes, I am, because that's what you're a bunch of hypocrites. You can't sit here and say that, this is what Smash, and, and we hate Smash, and we want nothing to do with Smash, and it's its own entity, and then you want to take things from Smash. That's not how it works, all right? Especially after you've degraded them. If anything, now you're admitting that they have influence in what you do. Matter of fact, you know what? If you're so hard up on Smash now, all of a sudden that these are things that you want, I'll give you an example right now. A tournament organizer not too long ago, during a tournament, changed a player's name to Trashbag while they were playing. That's right. You don't believe? Here it is. Here it is right here. Since, you know, listen, gotta show you this. Unprofessional. You would think that the community would say, this is too much, it's time to go. But if you look at that thread, people are saying, yeah, well, you know, the person this happened to, they haven't given them a good reason to like him anyway. That's the answer. Instead of, no, this is unprofessional from a tournament organizer who's running this, and you do something like this, they need to be gone. I don't care how much you don't like a person. If you don't like a person, guess what? Stay away from them. If you feel as though you're going to get into some type of altercation, fine. It's one or the other. Either you stay away from them or y'all going to handle business. You don't wait till you get on a stream and start talking about them and start changing their name and stuff like, nah, man. Nah, you don't do that. If anything, that's grounds for ass whipping. You don't do that. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care how high tier you are of a player. None of these things, or of an organizer, none of these things matter when you're being unprofessional. It's time for you to go. I don't understand in these type of situations where we're just going to just gloss over it and say, ha, 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 you should just deal with it. But in the same community, if they say, ha, 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 you should deal with it, as soon as one of them cry because they lost and you say, ha, 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 you're crying, you shouldn't cry at them for having passion. Matter of fact, any person who decides to cry, we're going to blacklist. You can't have it both ways. You can't. It's absolutely ridiculous. And where's your ambassadors on this? Huh? I'm wondering. Not just Smash, because this is a tournament organizer issue in the FGC. Not just Smash. All right? Where's your organizers in this? Where's your high-tier players coming out and speaking out on this? Huh? I'm just wondering why people are staying quiet. Instead of, well, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to hurt any tournament organizers, and that will reflect me in the future and my sponsorship and all that. It's not about you. It's really not. Again, the selfishness. Without this community, you wouldn't be shit. Without these games, there isn't a community. But without our community, they couldn't make these games. It wouldn't sell. And they wouldn't do anything at a loss. We all need each other. And if you're not willing to speak up for the community because sponsorship or I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, well then you are in the wrong place. You are. Because in life, this happens constantly. You can't stay in your little bubble and think it's okay. It's okay if we pop off on people, even if you don't know somebody. No, because you're asking to get your ass whipped. It's okay to act like we're badasses and action heroes when you're not, because you've already been told that, you have to act a certain way. But it's alright for tournament organizers, apparently, to try and run people over. It's okay for tournament organizers to trash someone on a stream and change their name and all that. No. No. If you look at it from an actual business standpoint, not the video game industry, not these little chip and dip, streamers, we're not talking about all that shit. If you look at actual businesses, the way they run, I put it like this. Do you think that would fly on ESPN? No. It wouldn't. Unless the person signed up as that, no. They wouldn't. You think that would fly on TBS? No. It wouldn't. But for some reason, we're trying to justify this shit. Big-time companies who put on productions and broadcasts, they would never, ever do that. Ever. Because guess what? At the very least, they would be fined and suspended, if not fired. I don't understand why this is okay. And it shouldn't be. Regardless if the player's there. Look, if you think the player's an asshole or whatever, and the player starts a lot of things and is a bad person, then you don't let him in the fucking tournament. You don't wait till the person's in the tournament and be like, okay, now we're just going to do this and embarrass him. No. That's bullshit. And you know it is. So, once again, structure needs to be placed, rules need to be placed, and they need to be enforced. That's what it is. Y'all all talk about how y'all want to be Hollywood and y'all want to be great and all this. All right, you want the big time, you want the spotlight. Here comes the responsibility with it. It's just very disappointing this week. But of course, everything I say, I'm just a hater. Instead of just giving you the truth and showing you what these people are saying, what these people are doing. Man, it at one point it makes me sick. Because you will keep justifying these antics. And you will keep promoting these people who clearly have the IQ of an ant. They're great at games but don't know shit about anybody or how to act socially. Don't know how to interact with people socially. But they'll say shit on social media. Like I said, we saw before, all right, when it came to social media. People sitting right next to each other, won't talk to each other face to face, but they'll keep tweeting each other. Sitting right next to each other. Our social part in media has been lost. Our social part in reality, it seems, have been lost. I don't see how this is cool. Any of it. We've strayed so far away from what has made us gamers and has made us a community. All for what? A bunch of clowns dancing a jig? Nah, man. Nah. I can't do that. That's not me. Anyways, I'm done for the week. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. Tomorrow, we get back into Nier Automata. I'll talk to you then. I'm out.